How you doing, Happy Mac? Hey, Sam. Hey, Miko. Hey, all these blessings. G. Cole, Lexington, Lexi in the Garden. Wills 803. Eddie Morrison. Michelle Law, how you doing? Nico Stone, my Renaissance grandma, how you doing? We'll be blessed. Precious Soul, I always want to say your old name. Precious Sunshine. That's hard to say 3 times. Hazel Harris, how you doing? Nicole Stone, I think I said your name already. And I gotta say my Renaissance grandma twice just because. Thank you for the hearts. Whoever pumping up them hearts, thank you so much. Let me see. Nikki Walker, Natalie McHale, Sean does it all. How y'all doing? BK Peach, Polar Bear Cheryl, Talia, how you doing? Tamika Wells, long time no see. Jacqueline Bush, how you doing? Cheryl the Garden Artist, Ryan Life, how you doing? All right, let me see here. Judah, how you doing? Let me see who else we got here. Okay, let's get started. Let's get going here. Listen, y'all. Thank you for the hearts, everybody. Thank you. The Analytic Gardener, how you doing, my sister? Kenyatta's Journey, good to see y'all in here. I really wanted to tell y'all something, and I should have did a StreamYard is what I should have did. I keep saying by the time I set this up, it'd be too late. And I'd be like, I should have did a StreamYard because I want your input. And I'm gonna do my best to look at the screen. How you doing, Dave Busby? What's going on, man? Loretta, how you doing? Kenyatta's Journey. All right. Affordability. Affordability. I'm going to let you think about that word for a minute. That word really drives people crazy. Either you understand it or you lie about it. Affordability. I'm going to, how you doing, TJ? Hey, Mary Boyd. Sandra Fleming. Stop it. She being bad today. Either you understand it or you lie about it. There is nothing affordable right now. I don't care what you see, commercial, what's for sale. Nothing is affordable right now. Not cars, not technology, electronics. There's nothing affordable at all. You know, I was having a conversation with my kids, man. And I had to think about this for real. Because I'm taking a beat. All right. And I know a lot of people that are in my shoes just taking a beating. And is going down to the wire of starting to think critically. Like, okay, we've had family meetings and conversations of, okay, if all else fails, what's our move? What are we doing? If everything else fails and we just can't afford anything, what is our move? Now, I'm not going to tell you what me and my wife's moves are because we spoke about them and we both 100% agreed on. But it is not affordable to do anything these days. To go on vacation, if Lord forbid you have a death in the family or a sick family member and you got to travel to go see them, it's gonna take a toll on you. It's nothing you can afford. You can't afford anything. Let's break this down a little bit more. You can't afford to do anything that makes you happy. There are things, if everybody, the people that keep saying, yeah, things are affordable. Of course they are. Either they're living in la la land and they're not in touch with reality. They're only in touch with their own personal reality. And I'm gonna just give my opinion for 1 second. I was speaking facts, and now I'm gonna say my opinion. The problem with people when they say sure things are affordable, we don't know where you get that from. Those people are in a bubble. They live in a bubble. They don't think universally for the betterment of mankind. They're only talking about their own personal situation. And what I've been seeing a lot lately, especially in the news, on television, and everything else, is the way people think, the people in power, the reason they think the way they think is because they've never, ever lived any other kind of way besides privileged. I think to myself, the only way that you could not have compassion on other human beings, even though they never touched you, they never looked at you, they ain't never been 2,000 miles in your radius, you hate them, and there's a reason for that. Because of something you were told, something you were lied to about. You're living in your own bubble. If you say things are affordable right now, you have never been in the hood, you have never been in the projects, you have never been in the ghetto, you have never been in lower class living situations, nor have you been in middle class situations. The only thing that people make their judgment like that from is watching TV, or they live in a higher class. They watch TV and let producers and editors depict a fantasy of how things really work in this world. And it's sad. It's sad that the people that are living in this bubble, and they're only judging the rest of the entire world by their own personal experience, they're the ones with all the money and the power. So they get to call the shots and make the laws and the rules and regulations. It's sad. I'm going to tell y'all a story, and I really do want to engage with you on this one. Just talking to my kids, man. And I don't know if you've spoke to your children or anything. A lot of our children are coming back home because they need help. The mama and daddy already need help, but then the kids come back because the kids need help. They are cutting jobs. So the kids can't get these jobs. They're making it harder to get the jobs. They want a higher education, but at the same time, they want a higher price for the education that the kid, let me stop saying kid, the young adult has to pay back. So that's a burden on a kid. So before they decide to go to college, ain't that something that before you have to decide to further your education, you have to decide how the outcome of affording it is going to affect you. If you go to school to be a doctor, a lawyer, a physician, something where you make a lot of money, if you go to school for that profession, you are now literally questioning yourself on the money and the status that I'll earn after the higher education. Will it outweigh what I owe for the education? Right? Think. If I'm going to end up making $100,000 a year, 90,000 a year. That's great. But how much will I owe in student loans? And give me 2 ticks. Jesus Christ. Move up, move. Shh, I'm live. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Let's get back into it. If you're going to end up having a great career making good money, now you got to ask yourself, will it be worth it? Because you'll probably be damn near $1 million in debt when you start at the ground level of whatever position you start at. So the first 5 to 10 years of your career is going to be spent paying back your student loans. So even though you've worked your butt off for the last 8 to 12 years at your career choice, you still got to turn around and then wait another 5 to 10 to probably 15 years to pay off the education. So you still won't really get a taste of that money for another 5, 10, 15 years. By then, your age is starting to tack on. And then now you have to actually worry about, will a robot be able to replace your job? It don't matter what you are now. I seen a video today of they just released robot nurses. They just released robot nurses. Toyota just released a robot, AI robot that's standing on wheels that can shoot a basketball all nets. Go look this stuff up. And this ain't just some old corny video that somebody doctored up. This is real. Go look anywhere you want. It's there. And I'm like, okay. I'm gonna save this and then we're gonna start back and forth, okay? Your kids can't afford to buy no house. All these houses out here, your kid can't afford to buy no house. All these brand new built houses and brand new built suburbs and cul-de-sacs, they're empty. I'm gonna tell you, I was riding my bike the other day, and I was riding my bike in a very, very popular part of my city, and I noticed something. All of the restaurants, the stores, the eateries, the in-and-out joints, and all of this stuff that this whole area has to offer, it's gone. I'm riding my bike, and let me tell you something so you know. Every blue moon, get out of your car. Don't be ignorant like these people in power. Every blue moon, get out of your car. Go for a walk. Ride your bike. Because when you drive at 70 miles an hour, you can't see the reality. You can't see the reality. If you get out and walk and you ride your bike, you start seeing the reality of our surroundings, which is what I just noticed 3 days ago. All of these stores that I like to go to, I haven't had money or time to go to them in quite a while, but I ride my bike past all these stores. You know what I noticed? It's a for lease, for lease, for lease, for lease, for lease, for lease, for lease. All of these stores, restaurants, eateries, craft shops, you name it, thrift store, gone. And I didn't even know because they keep the property up. It's in a nice part of town. But all this is about a mile of beautiful buildings. That's it. There's nothing in them. There's nothing in any of these buildings. So I remember it was a restaurant that I really, really loved. There was 2 restaurants there that I used to take my wife to frequently. It was Copper River Grill, and Kiki's Chicken and Waffles. If you've ever been to Kiki's Chicken and Waffles, if you are blessed enough to have a Kiki's Chicken and Waffles in your area, you need to go to Kiki's Chicken and Waffles because ain't nothing fancy about it. I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you want a good, almost feel like home cooked meal, and you gonna pay a decent price, Kiki's Chicken and Waffles. Go to Kiki's Chicken and Waffles. Okay, that's not an advertisement. I used to take my wife there frequently because that's how good the food is, that's how good the service is, and that's how good the prices are. And the other restaurant was Copper River Grill. And I'm riding my bike and I'm looking for Copper River Grill, and I have to go turn around and go back and look. And I'm like, it used to be right here, right? It's called something else. And listen, there's a new name on the building, but it says for lease. Ain't nobody in it. So Copper River Grill left, another company took over, and they're now gone in the window say for lease. So now it got me thinking, let me pay more attention to these buildings. I'm trying to pay attention to the street that I'm riding in, but now I really want to keep looking over. So I get up close to the sidewalk, to the curb, so I can pay attention. All these stores are gone. And there's a reason, because can't nobody afford it. It ain't because the food is bad. It's not because the service is bad. It's because nobody can afford to patron these places. Nobody. And I don't know about you, but a real telltale sign to me that nobody can afford anything anymore. Eddie Morrison, go on, say it now. I can't believe you saying this. You said you are here. You really are here, ain't you, Eddie Morrison? You said around Lake Murray is flourishing, but it's only for rich people. If you think about it, Harbison is flourishing, but it's only for people with money. I've noticed something. And over in Lexington, I've noticed something. In the last, I'm going to say since December, since December, I'm going to give it January. I personally do not have to wait in line at Walmart. Even on a rainy day, on a holiday, on a festive occasion, there's really no people inside of Walmart. You get a handful of people to get on your nerves, and pajamas and house shoes and bonnets and bad breath and nipples and all this stuff you see. Dirty kids. But for the most part, now everybody across America, I've been from the South all the way to the damn near the tip of the North. I've been from South Carolina all the way up to damn near basically Michigan. In every Walmart that I've been in, there is no waiting because there's nobody there. No matter what time of day or night I go, there's nobody there purchasing anything. All of these clothes, you just standing there and it feel like Omega Man. You in this store and all you see is mannequins. The people that you thought was down this aisle, them is mannequins. Tamika Wells said a lot of people shopping online and having I don't know. Nope, I ain't going for that. I'm not saying people ain't shopping online. I believe that. What I'm saying is that many people are not shopping online to the point that it's emptying out brick and mortar buildings. It's not. And see, this internet shopping is not new. It's not a new model by a long stroke. People still, put it like this, if I'm going to order a product, there's no problem with that if you need to order a product and it'll be here in 2 or 3 days. But why would I order it if it's around the corner and I can get it right now? Even if it's going to cost me $1 or $2 more, I need it right now. That's why I'm online looking for it, right? I do that a lot. A lot of the things I purchase are not online. That's because if it's around the corner or down the street, I'd rather pay the $2 extra or $5 extra to go purchase it because I need it now. That many people are not shopping online. That's what the media wants us to believe. That's not true. Don't nobody have any money. You say Tamika, my children rarely shop in the store. They get weekly delivery. Well, again, what did I say in the beginning of this video? That's a very narrow-minded way to see the rest of the world. Your children are purchasing things and getting things delivered on a weekly basis. Your home. That is not all of America. So we can't just look at things with blinders on, because that's the problem with the country right now. The problem with the country is you're voting and you're deciding who's going to be in power by your situation only. Just you, how your family lives and thrives. That's it. You don't care about your neighbor. You don't care about the people down the street. You don't care about another person in the city. I'm with you, Tamika. I'm just saying we can't do that. You know, we can't do that. When I make decisions for my community. When I make decisions, I don't, in my own household, let's act like my house is the rest of the country. You know what I did? For instance, this morning, I scrambled me some eggs. I woke up early. I scrambled me some eggs and made me a pot of coffee. It was so early that, guess what? I didn't have to take care of anybody else. All I needed to do was make me some scrambled eggs and make me a cup of coffee. But no, I made a pot of coffee because I knew my wife was going to be waking up soon. I scrambled more eggs because I knew my wife was going to be waking up soon. I didn't just do it for me. I'm so busy thinking about my wife, and when she comes on, hey, you know what? If she comes down and she say, you know, I'm not hungry, I don't think I'm going to eat this early, I got her covered though. I looked out for her just in case she woke up hungry. I made an extra pot of coffee. Maybe today she won't tea, but if she don't want coffee, I still had her covered. That's how I do everything in my life. I always think about my group first. I think about my community first before I think about me. Because if it was just about me, I really don't need a whole bunch to make me happy. I really, truly don't. I really, truly don't. But I'm always trying to take care of everybody around me. You say you heard Walmart is changing to electric labels now. I've seen that. With push of a button, they can change the prices. Absolutely, because they track you. So now when you come in the store, you know, this item ain't $2.99. For you, it may be $3.99 because as soon as you come into the store, as soon as you get by that label, it tells you, yeah, this is a higher price for you. We can barely afford to live. And I keep thinking about the people younger than me. The kids that was born, what has it been, 8 years ago, pretty much. They've never really truly had a time. The kids that was born about 8 years ago, they've never really had a time in their lives. If a kid is about 10 years old right now, say a kid is about 10 years oldish, they've lived through hell. These kids have never been living in a time where they had to stand in front of somebody and communicate and see their facial features and their emotions, and they can hear their emotions and see them and touch and feel them and let them know everything gonna be okay. All these kids in the last 10 years been living through hell, man. And now that these kids are getting older, after everything they've seen, they've never had a chance to relax. Our kids, our young folks ain't had no chance to relax. You can't just go in and stumble in and just get a good job on a whim just because you're very knowledgeable of a situation. Hey, well, we could use somebody like you. That don't happen no more. Our kids can't afford to live. You want to hear something crazy? Our kids can't afford to live, and we can't afford to die. I want you to think about what I just said. Our kids can't afford to live, and we cannot afford to die. Literally and hypothetically. Literally, you literally cannot afford to die. You ain't got enough money to bury yourself. That's one. Two, you can't afford to die in the sense of, man, if I go, it's nobody here is going to help anybody. There will be nobody left around to help my kids, help my family, help my wife. I can't afford to die in both ways. I can't afford to die because I ain't got the money to, you know, to be buried and all of that jazz, and I can't afford to leave my family without any protection, security, and everything else I have to offer. Because I'm gonna be honest now, if you think about this, there are no more of us. It's rare when you get a young adult that's been around a bunch of old folks for a while, but there will be no more of us. In the next at least 3 cycles, there will be no more people like us. Once we are gone, because all of our elders are falling, once we're gone, what are we called? Generation X. Once we're gone, man, for the next 3 cycles, this world gonna go one way or the other. And it's already 1 foot in the grave. Because the system has set it where they didn't give these kids survival skills, and they didn't give these kids any real goals. These kids are living day to day, literally. I want you to think about it and think about your kids. Think about the kids that live next door to you. Think about the kids that belong to your friends or your other family, your nieces, your nephews. These kids have no goals, man. They live literally day to day. They don't care about tomorrow. And they sure the hell don't care about yesterday. They live for today and they burn the, what's the song? They burn themselves at both ends because they live for today. That's why these kids take so many chances, man. Because nobody has ever given them any reason to care about anything. Think about, and this is why, and everybody keeps saying kids is committing all these crimes and joining gangs and dealing with drugs. It's true. But there's a cause and effect. See, that is the effect of something. Kids in the street, kids doing drugs, kids having babies too early, kids joining gang. True. It's all true. Is it a height on it? Absolutely, it's true. But before we go to pointing the fingers and saying kids are stupid, they are the effect of something else. There's a root cause to the reason that we have came here. And it's because you've taken everything that could possibly structure a young adult or a child. You've taken all of that away and made up some old goofy new rules that makes everybody feels included. And that's not fair. It's not right. So now these kids, they don't have after school programs. If they're think if they're not joined up in a sport, they don't have anything. That's right, Sylvia. I say I'm a boomer. We built different. Think now. Man, these kids don't have anything, man. They have not been taught anything. They have not been shown anything because they removed everything that helps structure a child into a young adult. And they removed all the things that help structure a young adult into an adult. All of those programs, after school program, it ain't gotta be. Listen, what if you don't want to play basketball? What if you don't want to play football? What if you don't want to do gymnastics? That's all they offer kids now is ways to make money off you. They need you to be an athlete because they're gonna make money off you no matter what, while you burn yourself like a battery. They're gonna make their money back off you. Man, can't nobody afford to live nowhere. Thank you for that, Shonda says these kids aren't dumb. They have no structure. Parents want teachers to raise their kids because they want to be their kid's friend instead of being a responsible parent. Hey, I gotta give you a round of applause for that. Amen. Amen. The parent don't want to be a parent. The parent want to be the pal and let the kid go on off into the world on their own, into the blue yonder. Sylvia says baby boomer did everything we could, but the government started thinking that they were better parenting. Absolutely. They thought they was better at parenting. Absolutely. And here we are. Look, I need y'all to think about this. And I said something about this last night in another live video. If the system is not working, why do we keep doing it? You know the definition of insanity, right? Everybody knows what the definition of insanity is, how they define insanity. Anybody? The definition of insanity is you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and you keep getting the exact same results over and over and over again, but hoping for a different outcome, knowing there will never be a different outcome for this situation, but you never stop doing it. Right. If the system has not worked in all these years, and remember, when I say the system hasn't worked, I mean universally for the American people. Universally, not personally for this group of people or that group. If the system keeps failing us, but the system keeps asking us for money. Now, let's put this in real terms. Let's put this in real life. If you ask somebody to come and remodel your bathroom, they give you a price that you have to pay to remodel your bathroom. If they keep coming and say, hey, come take a look, and every time you go and look at the bathroom and look at the progress, it's a mess, it's terrible, nothing has been done, but they say, hey, we're gonna need a little bit more money, and you looking in the bathroom like, I don't see what you've done. You punched a bunch of holes in the wall. You actually made this situation worse, because now we can't even use the bathroom, but now you want more money. You're gonna keep asking me for money over and over. So every day this person says, okay, I want you to come take a look. There's more holes in the wall. Nothing is done. It's actually worse than it was even yesterday. But you want more money. So my point of this is, this government, you got to remember one thing. We pay them. And I think that's the part that all Americans keep forgetting. They think that's like a cliche, or that's just some words we throw around. Absolutely not. All of those politicians and those government officials are on our payroll. They are. No matter how you look at it, because if we all stop paying taxes, and if we all stop paying into the things that they have in line put for us, they would not have a job, because none of them will ever do this pro bono. They'll never do it for free. They'll never take this much criticism and heat and all this lying and evil. They will never do that for free, ever. Hey, Miss Shirley O.G. Garden, how you doing? So they work for us. So if we stop paying them, they would stop. We buy into their crap constantly, and we never question anybody. The more you keep watching these mergers happen, all of these mergers, let me say that clear for YouTube, the mergers that are happening, I don't think people know how serious these big conglomerate mergers, I don't think people have the slightest idea what happens in the last 6 months. How many major corporations or big conglomerate businesses have merged? You don't know. People have no idea. Why did they make that political? If it's one company buying another company, why on God's green earth did they make that big world news that this big company just purchased this big company? Why is that big news? Why is that even making it on worldwide news? Because you have no idea the outcome of that. Let me break it down into hood terms. Okay, let me break it down into hood terms, because some people don't understand why would Nestle buy Disney. People don't understand why would Netflix buy Amazon. People don't understand what it means. So I'm gonna break this down into hood terms. If every store and every house in your neighborhood that you purchased a house in a suburb, nice little neighborhood, you live in a cul-de-sac. What if I owned all of those houses and I rent them out to people? Now, every store you go to in a 5-mile radius, what if I owned every last one of those stores? No matter where you went in a 5-mile radius, you're going to be paying me. Wherever you went in a 5-mile radius, I am the law. No matter what you do, no matter, and the bigger these mergers are, the less the more lawless they can become. I can't make this up now. The bigger these mergers are, the more lawless they can become. Because money rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. These politicians and government officials are on the tape. They're for sale to the highest bidder. So the laws and the rules, and they don't have to pay taxes. And these people are just literally breathing money constantly. So if I own everything in a 5-mile radius of you, all of a sudden I could just start telling you, you know what? I really don't like your style. You gotta go. I'm about to take that house right there and I'm gonna turn that into a candy store or something. You will fight it and fight it and fight it and be like, you can't do that. And then you know what? I got so much money and power. I'll pull a rabbit out of my hat and say, you know what? Eminent domain. Eminent domain. This, what we're doing overrides your whole life. What we're doing is more important than your whole existence. That's pretty much in a nutshell eminent domain. So if what we're doing and we claim it to be the betterment for all mankind, where you are just worried about your little house, your little piece of land, just because your great-great-grandmama lived and died there, they don't care. What we have planned for that piece of property will override your 3 or 4 generations in your house, because ours will be the betterment for all mankind, or that's all they got to do. And then if you own everything, there is no rules for you anymore. Listen, we're watching that happen right now. Mr. Bambit in the house. We're watching that happen right now, right? The lawlessness is because people got so much power and so much money. So if you only got about 3 to 5 people owning everything in the entire country, you only, listen, they own the courts, they own the judges, they own the police, they own everything. Now, all of a sudden, man, we back in 1950 all over again. You living in the twilight zone all over again, because we know what the law is. We know what the law says. But all of a sudden, because of the powers that be, those laws only go towards certain people. Those laws aren't universal for everybody anymore. Not the people with the money, not the people with the power. We watch this happen all the time when people, they go to court. These movie stars, actors, entertainers, athletes, they go to court. They might they might leave some crime scene tape around somebody's house, if you know what I'm saying. And they 6 months probation or something because you left a girl in the middle of the living room floor leaking. You only getting 6 months probation, and then you got to do some community service. It's weird, man. I have to pay taxes or I'm going to prison. But they don't have to pay no taxes, because every time they get caught not paying taxes, what happened to them? Oh, they'll be begging them for that tax money for the next 5, 10 years. You miss your taxes though for a couple years, watch them come scraping on your door. I didn't say knocking, I said scraping. That's because they got the battle ram hooked to your door now and about to whip your door off and come in and snatch you up out of that mud. It hurts me, and it should hurt everybody. I can remember. Damn, how old was I? I think I was 22. I think I was 22. Let me rewind this. My son, I was 23 years old when I purchased my first house. I was 23 and I bought a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom house with a basement, a 2-story house with a basement. I was 23 years old. My son was a baby. And I can remember it was a big deal, but it was normal, right? It was a big deal because I'm accomplishing some man stuff, but it was supposed to be the thing that you do. It was normal. Well, here, there's nothing normal anymore. No kids can afford to live anywhere. Man, there's so many houses for sale in my neighborhood that I've lived here 16 years, 17 years. I've lived in this house for 16 or 17 years, and I'm gonna tell you something. I have never seen as many houses for sale. Now, when I first moved in this neighborhood, a house wouldn't be for sale for damn near less than 7 days. I can't make that up. If a house came up for sale, and I know 2 of them in all these years, 2 houses in my whole neighborhood that came up for sale, I thought the people changed their mind and moved back in the house. That's how fast somebody bought the house and moved in. I drive past it, I see a for sale sign. Drive past it on my way to work again, I don't see the for sale sign. I drive past it on my way to work again, I see kids playing in the front yard. But now, man, houses in my area have been for sale for years. For years. It's so many of them too. That trips me out. But at the same time, these houses it's not just surprising to see houses for sale in my area, but it's surprising that they aren't even selling. Nobody has money. I got this big mansion sitting next to me for sale. And everybody keep coming to see it. I know the man that lived in it. Everybody keeps seeing it. They keep looking at it, but they come out when they hear the price. Sylvia, thank you. You said I cannot imagine trying to buy a house now. They're starting at 300,000. That's a starting 300,000, and that's on the low end. Absolutely. Fixer upper starting at 150 to 2K. Go on, say that. And these kids or these young adults is coming out here trying to start their life out, and they trying to start their life out on a legal note, law-abiding citizens, but at the same time, you trying to tell a young adult you got to come out your pocket anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 and up $1,000 just for a single family home. And hell, don't act like condos are any different. They ain't. The price is the same on condos. Man, so some of our kids be struggling so bad they end up back with you. They end up back in their bedroom. And nothing is wrong with that. Let me make sure I clarify that. Nothing is wrong with your kids coming back home and until they get on their feet. Nothing. But what is wrong is you don't see no signs of it stopping no time soon. Now the kids just ain't coming back to get on their feet. They coming back with no options, meaning they probably be here forever. So we got grown folks losing their homes on a daily basis. And I want you to pay attention to something. And I listened to this one young lady. I really like her channel. We got a lot in common. She's a van lifer. Well, no, she was a van lifer, and now she's off-grid homesteader. And she had a video stating that she's a real van lifer. Okay? She's a real OG van lifer because she has noticed that there's so many people on social media saying they van life, they live in a van, homesteading, they live in a homestead, they purchase it. She's saying is flooded with these van lifers now. And if you look online, right on this platform here, every other video is about, this is how they title them. I lost everything. I'm such and such age. And now I live in my car. If you look, just type in those words I just said, and about 100,000 people gonna show up. 100,000 channels gonna show up. I lost everything. I'm a certain kind of age. Pick any number you want. And now I live in my van, or I live in my car, or I live behind some dumpsters or some steps. Go look. Go look. I got this one young man that I was watching for a minute till it got a little odd, where he was living in the woods. I don't know his whole situation, so I'm not going to speak on it, but this kid was living in the woods with a bunch of other people living in the woods. Hey, Missy Hawk, how you doing? Yeah, let's not say his name, but this kid, then things took a weird turn, so I kind of was like, I'm not sure, But my point of this is, the lady said that YouTube and social media is being flooded by these new upcoming van lifers, off-gridders, and homesteaders. And I'm going to say this, she's right. She's 100% right. But I'm not, it don't bother me at all, because I will say one thing about the saturation of the subject matter is because, hey man, listen, everybody really are losing their homes. And I know some people do it for clicks and views, because don't nobody be walking around inside they $200,000 van and you're just your draws. That's not even realistic. You ain't all spread eagle all in the back of the van watching cartoons and in there making a gourmet meal with this little hot plate. You're not doing that if you really homeless. You are not in here cooking chicken parmesan if you homeless. You are not in here cooking no gourmet dishes in the back of no damn van and then go to sleep half buck naked and have a camera staring at you. You don't. So I understand what she mean by the fake ones that do make it look bad and put a black eye on the people that's really struggling, the people that's really losing everything and having to live out of their vehicle. And I will say to her, hey, sister, I feel you on the fake people, but I think right now in 2026, it's more realistic people losing their homes, living in their vehicles, than the fakers that want the clicks and the views. I really do. And that's a long shot for me to say, but I do believe that. I believe People are losing their houses constantly. And the only reason I believe it, because again, I'm not thinking about myself. I'm thinking about everybody around me. I'm thinking about my community. If all the houses are for sale and all the stores are for lease and nobody is occupying any of these buildings, where's everybody going? How is everybody making money? How is everybody sheltering themselves and their family if there is nothing to support the situation? So when I ride my bicycle and start looking at this, I look at it in a whole. Okay, all the jobs are gone around my area. Everything is for sale or for lease. But then in all the neighborhoods, all the houses are for sale. That told me two things. People aren't making money or enough money to afford their home anymore. So they close the business because the jobs is gone, and then they end up having to sell their house. And then what do you do after you sell your house? And now I'm going, Mr. Bambi says, we see more now than ever. Absolutely. I'm going to ask y'all a question now. With all that I've just said, I know all of y'all feel like me, like, listen, if things don't change soon, I might have to switch into plan B. I may have to switch on to plan B. Because plan A, it's in the orange. My plan A is in yellowish orangish, okay, on the alert meter. Because you know the next step is about a good red. I'm yellowish orangish. And I think wholeheartedly most of America is in that yellow orange phase right now of, listen, I got to come up with a plan. Because I need to come up with a plan before our situation gets critical and we hit the red zone. I'm going to ask all of y'all right now, because you don't have to say it because that's your personal business, but we all know the truth that we all, as Americans, are feeling the heat right now. We all are. You don't have to admit it, but now is the time to stop faking the funk, and the only way we're going to be able to change it is to admit that, man, we're taking a beating, and stop making excuses for criminals. If you did a crime, ain't nobody gonna give you no slack. If you do a crime, ain't nobody gonna give you no slack. They're gonna stay on your head until, even if they have the slightest doubt you committed this crime, they gonna be on your tail. So stop making excuses for stark raving lunatics and criminals, career criminals. I ain't talking about some young man that pulled off stealing a Snicker bar once in his life. He's never done nothing wrong and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm talking about career criminals, been a criminal since they've been stealing. Everybody know him as a crook and a thief and a liar and a thief. Career model criminal. Stop making excuses for them, because they wouldn't make an excuse for you. If you committed one crime, you did one thing bad, you made one mistake, you was just riding in the car with the dude that stole the car, which you kind of knew, but you thought it might be stolen because he can't afford this, but you never asked him. Guess what? You going to jail too. And if you went to the courtroom and you told the judge and the jury, I didn't know the car was stolen. My friend came and picked me up in this vehicle. I asked him whose it was. He said it belonged to his auntie. I didn't know or ask questions. That lawyer is going to say, so you never looked over and saw keys in the ignition? You're going to say, no. Why would I doubt that my friend just, is telling me the truth when I ask him who caught it? Don't matter what happened. Don't matter nothing. You were in a stolen car in the passenger seat. And now you lied to authorities because you said no, the car ain't stolen when it actually is, even though you didn't know. Your ignorance. The courts do not give you leniency for your ignorance because they feel that you should be smart enough and wise enough to do more research before you go jumping into a car. And we all know that ain't how that works. You don't pull out a flashlight, tell him to cut on inside lights, and start doing a damn car inspection on his car to make sure it's running right and it's safe and is legal, and checking his driver's license and his insurance. That nobody does that. But guess what? You're going to jail just like he is. So if we committed these same crimes, they will hold our feet to the fire. I don't make excuses for criminals and liars, man, because they wouldn't make none for me. It's so crazy, man. As I don't want to go on and keep pushing this over and over, but Bambi says stealing as long as they've been stealing. Yeah, yes. You have perfect permission to use it. They've been stealing since they've been stealing. I'm telling you, I'm at a point where I know all of America is suffering. I went to the store today, and what sparked this whole video up, was I was in the store, and you know what I wanted? I wanted a good cheeseburger. And I wanted to pull out the grill, and I wanted to grill me up a couple cheeseburgers for the family. And have you seen the price of beef? I don't give a damn if it's fake beef. I don't care if it's in one of those red tubes. I don't care if it was freshly ground. I don't care if it's 80-20, 75-25, 50-50. It don't matter. The price of beef. I literally went to 3 stores looking for hamburgers, and I said, you know what? I'll just eat tuna fish. You see, I'm not on no grill. I wasn't going to do a video today. I released a video earlier this morning, so I wasn't going to do a video. But I said, you know, I better say something. I went to Costco. I went to Publix. I went to Kroger. Oh, wait. Oh, I went to 4 stores. I went to Costco. I went to Publix. I went to Kroger. I went to Walmart. All of them was the same exact prices. When you see an item or a product where no matter where you go, it's the same price, like gas, we are in trouble. When these stores, listen to me and pay attention to this, because this is real game. If you see something, a product that we consume on a daily basis, the reason why there is so many different stores is because they are supposed to want to win your business, right? So that's why this store prices are always cheaper. You go to the dollar store, not for the experience. Everybody go to the dollar store, not for the experience. You go to the dollar store because you know things are going to be cheaper in the dollar store. You don't go to the dollar store for great customer service. You don't go to the dollar store to ask and know you ain't going to get no help finding anything in this junk pile. The dollar store ain't no different than the Goodwill these days. In the aisles, you bet not gain no weight in going to the Dollar General. You ain't getting in. You can't get down the aisles without knocking some chips over with your booty. You can't get down the aisles of no Dollar General now. It bet damn not be 2 people in one aisle. You know, you get to the dollar store, don't you turn around. If somebody already in there looking at the cookies, you got to get out there and wait in line and wait till they come out the damn aisle looking at the cookies so you can go look at the cookies. It ain't gonna be 2 of y'all in the Dollar General looking for stuff. It's one or the other. If this lady got a bunch of kids too, that's a whole traffic jam. But you don't shop in the Dollar General for the experience. You shop at the Dollar General because their prices is lower. So all of these stores, that was their business model. We need to go compete with that company. Pepsi versus Coke, Kroger versus Publix. We need to have better prices and better customer service. The problem starts to be, and if you don't pay attention, you're going to miss it. If you go to 4 different stores looking for one product, and every one of those products in every one of those stores is the exact same price and damn near the exact same barcode, what you have just experienced is an economic downturn, and you don't even realize you just literally foiled a plot that's about to happen. If you go to 4 or more different stores looking for an item, and in every single one of those stores that price is identical to each other, and if you look at the barcode is probably the same. They're telling you that we're in trouble without telling you we're in trouble. Because the only sole reason for these stores to exist is to compete with one another. Because they don't make a whole bunch of money on the products that they sell at all. Like 1 cent for a can of soup. I remember going through this seminar I had to go to for being a manager, and they make 1 or 2 cents on a can of beans and stuff like that. If the can of beans costs $1.50, they make $1. I mean, they make 1 cent, 1.5 cents, something like that. So that just tells you these companies are in stiff competition with one another. So when you start seeing all the same prices, if you go to every gas station, and every single gas station, all the gas is the exact same price, we in trouble. And if you see a gas station that say ours is 20 cents cheaper, no, it's not, because they want you to join their membership program and join their awards program and their golden team member program. That's the only reason that gas be cheaper. But for the most part, all of it across the country and across the city is the same price. Think about that. We are in so much trouble, man. And what is that saying called? It's like boiling a frog. That's happening right as we speak. Nobody is really taking anything seriously because right now it's not a bunch of noise. Even the politics in that circus kind of quieted down a little bit. They said we need to turn the volume down on our evil for a minute and sneak up on them. So nobody's fussing and tripping and going crazy about the crimes that are being committed and the criminals that are doing it in higher places, we can say, because they doing it real quiet like cat burglars. They ain't loud and boisterous mobsters anymore. They know now, let's do it quietly. We gonna rob them and take them for all they got quietly. Man, we are in so much trouble. And I'm not talking about just me. Sylvia said, give it a few months and the sound will be loud, so loud it'll be deafening. You know what? I believe that. Let me see. Oh, thank you. Country Boy Capital says, unfortunately, it will only get worse. It's all based on economics. Absolutely. As much as I'm not a fan of the orange man, he's a symptom, not the illness, and decades of bad economic policies. I'll go with that. But no, he is part of the cause. Because if he wasn't, you ain't never seen nothing like this before. We ain't never seen nothing like this before. Nobody have. Whether you with him or against him. Ain't nobody ever seen nothing like that. Never. That's one truth that he told. He's going to do things you've never seen before. He was right about that. He was right. He's doing and has done things we have never seen before. He didn't say that was going to be good for us. So here's my question to you guys, because I don't want to keep you on here all night like I did last night. Do you have a plan B? Mr. Bamba says he's the problem, getting rid of his problems. Yes. Sylvia said, and praying to never see it again. Listen, you see my thumbnail? My thumbnail is when I had to go vote in my district a couple of weeks ago. I voted in my district right before I had to go out of town to visit family. I came all the way home from Freedom Acres so I would be in time to vote. My wife said, did you vote yet? Because I was gone. I'm on my way home right now because of that. She said, okay, good. I was just wondering. And I got a video of it too. I'm going to release it. And I'm gonna tell you what the video is right now. The video is literally me on my scooter going to vote. I went to vote on a little Honda scooter because gas was almost $5 a gallon. And watch what I say on that video when I release it. That day, gas was like $4.99, something like that, or close up there. I said, I am not about to pull out this truck today. Let me jump on this little Honda scooter that only take damn near 3/4 tank of gas, and I'll be driving for years on that mug. Hey, Priscilla Willis, how you doing? Do you have a plan B? Do you have an escape route? I'm not even going, I'm a very hopeful man. I am. I'm a hopeful man. I'm a faithful man. But I'm also a realist. And the realness and the reality is this is going to get worse. And the real question is, will I be able to swim or float through this tidal wave? Will you be able to make it? We got, at a minimum, the way things are going and the crimes and crooked stuff that's happening, right now we actually have a minimum, not a maximum. We have a minimum of a little over 2 years of this left to endure. When I think about it, man, I almost get sick. Because I can't imagine it. I can't imagine that this torture ain't over yet. I'm in a twilight zone. Does anybody have any ideas for a plan B? Because you're going to need it. If you don't have a plan B, you probably will be the next content creator talking about you lost everything and this is my age and now I live in my vehicle. I just want to be, I'm trying to be realistic with you. I ain't even joking. You see, I ain't joking. Hey, where was that we was seeing all them people sleep in their cars at? Lexington, Kentucky. Lexington, Kentucky. The whole Walmart full of people sleeping in their vehicle. That's not normal, man. That's not normal. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you take her out? She stole an Asian pear, and I found the core. Okay, because I know it's gonna be a rough night. All right. Anybody have any questions? Because again, I don't want to keep you. Country Boy says the system steals from us all and pays people with assets, acquiring assets and skills only win to win. Sylviar says Plan B is incorporated in Plan A. Check this out. There's a Plan C. The Plan C is stop living by this system. This system has never helped us accomplish anything. Over every 10 years, we get worse and worse and worse as a country. You receive less, but you have to put in more work. Think about that now. You got to put in double or triple or quadruple the work, and we getting less now. The Plan C is to change the whole system in the first place, because we know right now we all know that this system does not work. This system is broke, and if we keep going by this system because this is what they put in play for us, then that's the definition of insanity. If you keep on trying to make this work and it's broken, but you keep thinking it's going to work, as you know, that's like raising the dead. Why do we keep doing this? And then the worst part is you turn around and teach your kids and grandkids how to function in that system, how to maneuver and operate in that system. So we train our own kids up to try to navigate through some shit that didn't even work for us. Sorry for cussing. Trying to tone that down a little bit. But we're trying to navigate our children and tell them which direction to go in the system that didn't work for us, the same system that didn't work for our mothers and fathers, the same system that didn't work for our grandfathers and grandmothers, and so on and so forth. But we keep trying to make this system work for us, when we been knew it was clearly broken decades ago. The solution to that is you got to start your own system. We got to come up with a whole new way of doing things, a whole new system. And I'm not saying go asking them for permission. Sylvia says broken and nobody trying to fix it. Learn how to navigate outside the system. Absolutely. I don't want to try to fix it because we know our parents couldn't fix it. Our grandparents couldn't fix it. Our great-great-grandparents couldn't fix it. What make us think that we need to waste the rest of our life trying to fix something that was set up for you to fail in the first place? This system. Think how this land was acquired. This land was, I ain't gonna even say acquired because that's a lie. How this land was stolen. The only way you can steal land or steal anything and keep it to yourself is you have to incorporate some safety guards so you never lose that power or you never lose that property. You have to make sure that you write in a bunch of little safety clauses in whatever contracts and paperwork you put, because you a thief. Thieves dishonor thieves. So they have to make sure that they got some tricky words in there. So if they do go to court, they can trick you and get you with the last little punch. So we're living in a system. I want you to think about this real clear. I want to get close so you can understand what the words coming out of my mouth. We're living in a system that was literally built for nobody except an exclusive few to ever really, truly own or accomplish anything. It's in the paperwork. They wrote it in the paperwork after they stole this land. They wrote it in the paperwork. They wanted to make sure the people, the indigenous people that was on this land, we want to make sure they don't ever get their land back. And now we want to make sure that no other settlers come in and be able to live here. We want to make sure in that paperwork that we sign it, make sure the safety guards are that if you even come here and we allow it, we control everything you do and everything you say and everything you consume. So this system is not built and never has been since the land been stolen for you to legally, naturally acquire anything without somebody poking you in the back, telling you owe them something. So what on God's green earth if a system that was built for you to fail? Why do you think you can fix that when it was actually designed for you to fail? So you can always depend on the people that signed the paperwork. We don't even think about that. We like the American dream. There is no such thing. That's some more propaganda, commercialized bullcrap that they've been feeding us forever, just like milk does the body good. Milk is good for your teeth and your bones. Man, that's just a byproduct that they wanted to ship out and sell to people. Knowing good all, I ain't gonna get on that. Knowing good and well, man, cow milk ain't built for no people. I mean, we drink it, but that's not the main thing. What was behind it, they ain't doing nothing for your teeth and your bones. They needed to sell this stuff because they got so much of it left over. Man, look, I know I say this all the time. I'm going to say it again. Create your own system. How do you do that? Man, buy you some land and start living by your own rules. Buy you a plot of land and build that plot of land up and try to put everything on that land that you can that you need. Here's another way from part C. Start making a way that you don't depend on the outside world so much. Plant your own food, grow your own, eat your own. Here's another part of plan C. This is a tough one. Learn. You're going to need prayer on this one, okay? I don't care who you drop your knees and pray to, but you're going to need prayer on this one. Learn to do without. In a ways, fasting, if you will. It don't necessarily got to be food. You could be fasting on a lot of stuff. Listen, you're going to need prayer on this one because a lot of people is addicted to a lot of stuff. And it ain't always necessarily physically harmful, but it ain't right either. Dig this. We have to, that part C is, we have to learn to be without the pleasures of the world. Because if you think about it, They got us all addicted to the pleasures of mankind. And now we're talking about we can no longer afford those pleasures of mankind. And we losing our ish about it. That's how addicted to the world that we are. All of us. If you need some mayonnaise, you're going to go and run to the store and get some mayonnaise, ain't you? You ain't going to sit there and mix no egg whites with no oil and make you some mayonnaise. That's how easy it is to make mayonnaise. You ain't know that? Hey, Odom Homestead, what's up, brother? It's that simple. Egg whites, and hell, I'll use the yellow too, and oil. Olive oil, vegetable oil, you take your pick. That's right, Sylvia. Learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's another one who just said that. Adrius got to downsize your lifestyle. We're so addicted and so accustomed to having more than enough, man. It's coming to a point. I'm gonna tell you who's gonna fail. The people that, number one, the people that have never had to struggle. They're gonna be the ones to watch out for. I'm gonna tell you who's gonna, and you can see it now, really. The people that has never had to struggle and rich people. And when I say rich, I'm not talking about billionaires and millionaires. I'm talking about people that think they stuff don't stink. That all it takes is a hospital visit to make you move to the projects. They think they rich until they get sick or they get sued. So, what is this? Eddie Morrison say, I'm living away now. Some of my family think I'm crazy. Join the club, bro. Right, those cannot unplug. You know what I saw today? And speaking of those that can't unplug, I'm gonna speak on that literally. This is how delusional that people are, and they're thinking everything is safe and everything is going to be okay. You know, today I'm getting out of my car and a car drive past me while I'm going into Walmart to figure out I can't afford no hamburger meat. A car drives past me. It's a little girl driving the car. The little girl got on headphones this big. You're probably saying, well, Led, what's the big deal? Pay attention. The little girl drives past me. I get out my car. I'm walking towards Walmart. Little girl drives past me in the parking lot, and she got on headphones this big. They damn near touching the corner of her eye. Just so happens she picks a parking spot pretty close to where I'm walking. So she's pretty much maybe 4 or 5 cars walking behind me now. I get in the store, I go find out ain't no hamburger. What do I do? What do I see? I see the same little girl inside the store, back by the meat department, with these big giant headphones on her ear. And the only thing that came to my mind was, and she got on these little shorts. She got on these little shorts, man, with the little cheeks coming out the bottom of them, right? She got on this little cut-off shirt. She got on a little cut-off shirt and her stomach is showing, and she got on these little shorts with the cheeks coming out the back. I thought to myself, this little girl, let me stop calling little girl, young lady. This young lady is begging to be on the news. She's begging to be on the news. in the middle of some crime tape. Because not only is she dressed this scampy, but she's not paying attention to the world around her. That's how I took this. She can't hear people talk to her because her music is so loud I can almost hear it. It's very soft, but I can hear it. She feels so safe and secure with the world that we live in right now that she thinks she does not need to use her ears to hear anything around her. She doesn't need to use her eyes because she had on shades to look. I don't need to pay attention to nothing. I'm gonna walk in the store. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm half dressed, ain't got no clothes on. My butt cheeks is hanging out. My stomach is showing. The bottom of my bra is showing, and nobody can touch me. I'm untouchable. That is the perfect example of how ignorant this new world that we live in is. Everybody thinks shit don't stink. So I'm saying all of that to say that's how everybody is operating right now, like nothing is going to happen. Things have already happened and the wheels are in play right now. And people don't even realize how bad of trouble we in. Thank you for that, Sylvia. Absolutely. People walking around in a fake reality. They're in a bubble. It's like they got a fishbowl on their head. I ain't talking about a new one, a tank. I'm talking about one of them, $5 fish bowls you get at Dollar General. Like an astronaut helmet. And they don't want to know nothing outside of this fishbowl. It's so crazy to me. Country Boy says, yep, overabundance of the elites. They're a dangerous bunch. They led to French Revolution, not to poor class of folks. History repeats itself. Let me tell you, if you can't see the history is repeating itself, this is for everybody. If people can't see the history is repeating itself right now, I feel sorry for you. That's all. Missy Hawk says they don't check their surroundings at all. Listen, my sister, at all. At all. Because think about this. You're standing out like a sore thumb because you ain't got no clothes on in dirty Walmart. You ain't got no clothes on. So everybody walking past her, I see it, gotta look. But you got on headphones and shades. I'm not the only one. Well, I'm not the only one think how stupid that is. How dangerous that is. How careless and reckless that is. I'm over here thinking that's careless, reckless, dangerous. Because see, I'm thinking about my own children, my own daughter. I got a rule in my household. And I'm going to tell you what that is in a minute. Let me go and tell you so I don't get off my track. Rule in my household is you wear one earbud. If you got on headphones, you put one of them behind. You leave at least one ear open at all times. I don't give a damn what you do. I don't ever want to have to call you and I see you with both of these in your ear. I bet, listen, you want to get me hot? Let me catch you with both ears shut and closed to the world. My kids will tell you, you bet. Look, if they doing it, they'll do like this when I walk up. Like, you better not let me catch you being that damn ignorant. Mr. Bamber says, Led, I preach this every day to my children and anyone who will listen, planning awareness and prep. Oh my God. Right now, man, we are in so much trouble, man. When I told you I'm on high alert, I'm on high alert. Things that I don't tell you on social media, If you knew and could see me behind the scenes, if y'all think I'm crazy now, if you knew me in real life, you would probably think I done lost my whole mind. The way I'm trying to prepare for the coming days is it's like I'm trying to, this is how I feel. And tell me if you feel the same way. I feel like my house is on fire. And I'm trying to rush into every room and get everybody out safely. And then I'm trying to grab as many things of value and memorabilia as I possibly can without putting myself in danger. That's how hard I'm rushing. That's how hard I'm working, because I see it. When I go to the gas station and say, man, I can't afford that. When I start putting a handful of dollars in the tank like I'm 20 years old again, because I refuse to put $100 worth of gasoline in my car just to go to work, to make $100 today, to come back home to put that $100 in my car. That don't make sense. That is the definition of insanity. It's a sick, weird cycle. Say it with your mouth. You go to the gas station, you put $100 worth of gasoline in your car, in your vehicle, so you can get to work and earn $100 for the day, just to come back home to put that $100 back in your gas tank, so you can go back to work to earn another $100 to come home and put another. That don't make no MFing sense. But they got us in this system where if you're not paying attention, you won't even see what I just said. People don't calculate everything. They calculate their bills inside their home. You don't calculate, you have more bills than that. That's why I say affordability ain't affordable. You have more bills than your light bill, your gas bill, your mortgage, or your rent. Your job is also a bill. Your job is also a bill, because you got to come out of your pocket every single day to purchase clothing, supplies, tools, a proper vehicle, gasoline, engine maintenance, and car insurance, and keep all of that maintained just so you can get to work. You got to add all of that stuff up, because if you didn't have this job or have to get back and forth to this job, you wouldn't have purchased none of this stuff. You would have probably got you a little clunker car that's going to get you back and forth from A to B. You wouldn't get you something where you sure it's under warranty and sure the engine ain't going to fail, and end up paying $80,000 for this vehicle. So your job is a bill before they give you money to pay your bills. Your gasoline, I want everybody in here watching me right now, I want you to average up, and you do a little project tonight. How much gas do you put in your vehicle just to get to work? I want you to add that up from payday to payday. You're going to get sick. You're going to get sick in the stomach. You might even throw up a little bit. So before you add that stuff up, get you a little kaopectate, get you a little Pepto-Bismol, a little baking powder, baking soda rather, because you're going to get sick. You might need a little bag of ice put on your forehead because you're going to have a headache. Once you realize how much money you put in your vehicle just to get to work, then you can tally on how many oil changes you need, because all you drive your car back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to work every day. What kind of maintenance did you have? The tune-up, oil change, all that. All of that. How much is your car insurance? Add all that into that because you're just doing this to get to work. This is barely for your own personal pleasure. No, it's for your job. Tally that up and watch how sick you get. Because if you made $100 today, $30 to $40 of that you made today went into just you getting to work. On top of the fuel, the maintenance, the costs, the clothes, supplies, and all of that money that you earned at work is just so you can stay at work. And any crumbs that's left over, rent, mortgage, lights, bill, gas. You might go to McDonald's because you're hungry and then overdraft. Your bank is saying non-sufficient funds for your double cheeseburger. If you're wondering what I'm preparing for, I'm preparing to watch this whole circus tent implode in on itself. Now, I want you to understand something. When this circus tent implodes in on itself, it's a lot of people up in the bleachers in the seats watching this circus. So when that circus tent implodes, it's going to take a lot of people with it. Me personally, I left that show a long time ago. I don't want to stick around to see the big act, the final act. I don't want to stick around. They said, you got to wait for this. This clown is going to fly. We're going to shoot him out of a cannon, and he's going to fly across the room and splat up against the wall. And I don't want to stick around for the final act. I've already left. While everybody is sitting around waiting on the final act. Because after the final act, that's when the circus is going to implode and it's going to envelop everybody in with it. I've left, man. I don't want to have nothing to do with that system. Because it's a clown show. All of it is a clown show. Now, I know some of us was peeking through the walls a little bit to try to see what's going on in here. But after you done figured out, man, this is crazy. I ain't buying no ticket to that. Right? Mr. Bambi says the plan is for you to lose everything so they don't have to take it. Absolutely. Oh, man, that was poetry. And then you will have to rent and buy from them. All of this is by design. Absolutely. That's the system we live in. And you know the other biggest part? The other biggest part, Mr. Bambit and everybody else, is they're letting all. Remember I told you about those big giant conglomerate mergers and big businesses merging together, big gigantic corporations merging together? If they buy all of the real estate in your area, in your city, in your state, they buy up all the land and buy up all the property, they're not selling it to anybody. Like Mr. Bambi said, they're only going to let you rent. They're taking away from all of these people the option to buy. Because all of these major corporations and big merger corporations are buying up all of the property and all the real estate, the houses and the land. Listen, conspiracy theory alley, okay? Conspiracy theory alley. Why on God's green earth do you have one billionaire buying up all the farmland? I'll put this together now. Why ain't nobody saying nothing about this one billionaire buying up all the farmland? While there's other billionaires and millionaires not bailing out the farmers. They actually want those farms to fail. Think about that. They took all the people that work on the farm. They didn't give the farmers no money or no help to support the farm. The farmer has to sell the farm or go into default. And just like Mr. Bamba said, they want you to lose it so they don't have to spend a lot of money taking it. They're going to come and buy your land for nickels on a dollar, right? Next thing you know, they own hundreds, if not thousands of acres of farmland. And it just sits there and rots until they do something crazy with it. Listen now. They buying up all these farmers' land. They never intended to help these farmers. That's why they was glad that they voted for them. They're going to take that farmer's land. And what can anybody tell me right now what they doing with that farmer's land right now? They're constructing what on those farms now? Come on. Data centers. They're putting those toxic data centers anywhere they can fit them into. And that's why they want those farms to fail. They want all of our information on us. They don't need to feed you. That last thing they trying to worry about is your benefits and good health. They want that farmland so they can do crooked, weird stuff with it, just like that other billionaire start doing. That billionaire, he was like, oh, he could just go do some solar farm. Next thing you know, he damn near got Area 51 on all these weird farms. People like, man, this dude over, this little guy with these glasses over here doing some weird stuff, man, on these farms he bought. He said he was doing this to help the people. All of a sudden, we eating glue meat and bug paste, and he talking about he gonna feed the whole world with ladybugs and shit. What? You said you was gonna fight hunger. You didn't tell us we was about to be eating a whole handful of ladybugs. Oh, ladybug burgers and shit. Like, you know. I had to laugh at that myself. Oh, ladybug burgers, man. So my plan B is this. I mean, my plan B and C. Look, if you don't have any livestock, you really need to look into getting some chickens. Chickens they really don't need much, man. You ain't got to get into the pigs because that's kind of like a whole nother level. But chickens, look into it, please. Please look into it. And let me tell you this. If you're looking for land, go over to, it's a channel called Humble Servants Homestead. Have you ever heard of those? You ever heard of them? A husband and a wife on a nice homestead. They got chickens, goats, sheep, cows, you name it. They got it over there. Anybody ever heard of Humble Servant Homestead? His wife is a real estate agent. If you're looking for land, please go over there and let this lady help you start the process or get information, anything. Okay? Just go over there and listen to them. They ain't going they spitting real truth, man. So go over and go subscribe. Go subscribe to Humble Servant Homestead, and you gonna love. You ain't gonna regret subscribing to their channel because they always got some great stuff and great information to share. Okay. So if you're looking for land, go talk to her. Go talk to my sister over there. Okay. And look into getting and purchasing chickens. The reason why I'm saying all of this is you got two benefits to owning your own livestock. You got food, and you also know exactly what went into this food, so you know you eating pure, natural meat. This dude is making these ladybug burgers and stuff, and these beetle buns and whatever. You don't know what's in this stuff no more, man. You don't know what's in it. So the only way you know what's in your food is if you grow it yourself or raise it yourself. That's the only way. So that's all I got, y'all. Listen, I want to thank everybody that came in here, hollered at me tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you. But why do they keep saying that this other side of the aisle made up the word affordability and made it into an evil thing? Everybody wants to be able to afford to live. That's not a political statement. It's not a political word. It's a way of life. And they've demonized, they've politically demonized the word affordability into making it a bad thing or a swipe at the other side of the aisle. It's not. The word affordability is, man, the average American citizen cannot afford a decent wage. They cannot afford a decent house for their families. They cannot afford to purchase a new car. They cannot afford clothes on their body. They can't afford food. They can't afford gasoline. That's affordability. It's not a demonized political word. It's actually the essence of living in this country. People wanted to come here because of our affordability. They could make a way for themselves. Now you don't even take care of the American people. Now look, maybe it's just me. When I'm sitting here trying to figure out, when I sit, go to sleep and pray out on overdraft, when I go to sleep at night and pray out on overdraft, I wake up in the morning and that same $4.75 still in the account. Like, yes. That's all of America. It makes me sick to wake up and then swipe to the left to see somebody building a multi-billion-dollar ballroom to show all of their rich friends. When I'm praying that I don't overdraft, I got to swipe to the right just to see somebody set up a multi-billion-dollar or multi-million-dollar fake fight on the White House lawn. My money did that. I'm trying to figure out if I can afford enough gasoline to get back to my homestead. While I watched somebody spend billions and billions of dollars tearing down a perfectly good building that been there for 100 years so they can make something else in their own image. It makes me sick, even sicker, to see how many people still approve of this tyranny. You know, I had a question. Before I go, I'm gonna touch on this. Years ago, you know what I used to say when I was younger? I remember, I'm not gonna name this lunatic's name, but there was this dude that ran this cult, and they was like in Waco, Texas. And that's when I really started paying attention to cult-like behavior. We had another dude, I'm gonna call him Crazy Charlie. I never understood cult members. I never understood. I did understand cult members. What I didn't understand was the people that follow cults. Like, what happened to you and what happened to your mind where you start believing that this man is Jesus Christ, or you start believing that this man's name is Neptune 7 and he's from a moon far away and he's going to take all of y'all with him if you just drink a little bit of this juice. What made you think that any of this weird stuff is all right? Any of it is normal? I never understood it, and I still can't to this day. What would make a person give their whole life away to another human being just because of their sweet words? I've never seen such a thing. You gave your life over to a man instead of Christ. I don't even understand it, and I never will. So the people that's still rooting while they're watching this horror is a cult. You're watching these people do horrible things to people. You're watching it in an audience and you still think that they're good people. Man, this is a cult. Now, I said this in a short video and I'm going to leave. In a short video, I said this. Y'all think Christianity got a hold on the world? There's a new religion in town. There's a new religion that's going to rival Christianity. That new religion is hate. That new religion is hate. And there's a lot of people in that congregation. You got a crazy little orange pastor. You got people standing behind him in the pulpit and support every word he say. And you got a bunch of people in the pew clapping to every stupid ass word he say. I've never seen such a thing. I've heard about it on the news and stuff, but I've never seen, the flower children dancing around with the little VW bus and little flowers in their hair, little white dresses, and they dancing to Crazy Charlie's Madness. I've seen it when I was a kid. I heard about it when I was a kid, but I've never seen it up close and personal. I've never seen it until now. When you can actually grab somebody by the throat and they're telling, and you tell them, I'm doing this for your own good. I'm about to make you meet Jesus. It's only just because I love you. That's what's happening right now. I want you to take the fall for me. I want you to shield me from getting in trouble because you love me. Let me put something right there too. Even Jesus didn't say, Nino Brown me. Jesus didn't even say, take the fall for me if you love me. He didn't say that, did he? You know how wicked you gotta be? And if y'all ain't hip to the reference from Nino Brown from New Jack City, Nino Brown took a little kid and shielded himself when they had the beam on him and ran down some steps to safety. And that's what this dude keep doing. He keep throwing people in front of him. Every time somebody got the beam on him, he throws somebody in front of him and he throw them under the bus, literally. Soon as we got you on this legal thing, that legal thing, that legal thing, you got one little goofy coming the way like, well, you can't talk to him like that. It's a cult, man. And these people go to bed every night thinking that they've done the world some justice. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it, and I've never been so disgusted in my life. With that being said, I'm going to leave y'all alone. Hate is the new religion. And our kids can't afford to live. And we can't afford to die. Where does that leave all of us? We all just sitting around watching TV and social media to take our minds off the reality of this nightmare. Really think. Have you ever been looking at your iPad and you realize you've been looking at your iPad for a couple hours? You like, man, that's enough. My arm hurting. Let me go on and be productive today. And then you look out into the world. You see the horrors, the real horrors of the world. I don't feel like doing nothing today because I don't want to be part of that. This is a fantasy. Them video games, it's a fantasy. Everything is put in place to keep you distracted from dealing with your own reality because your reality is so loud that you can't bear it. The reality is this country has fallen. I didn't say it's going to fall, did I? This country and all the people in it have fallen. And we're watching it crumble, brick by brick. And we see the little sucker up there throwing the rocks. We see the one up there destroying everything. And nobody's saying anything. Nobody's doing anything. All the safeguards that was put into place for this never to happen have all but been removed. And now, if they're trying to make this world into this nightmare, we got to start thinking about how we going to move from here. How we going to go from here? Because this is a nightmare. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would live through nothing like this. I've only read about stuff like this, where nobody's going to be able to afford anything, the Great Depression. Everybody going to go hungry, the Great Depression. Everybody going to lose their homes and their farms, the Great Depression. Everything that was happening back is going to be a lot of disease, the Great Depression. It's going to be a lot of fighting, infighting. It's going to be a lot of hatred, racism, the Great Depression. We're there. And everybody ain't paying no attention because they're used to seeing those old black and white pictures of what the Great Depression depicted. You don't think that now that you're alive, listen, you're live in color in a Great Depression right now. You don't even know it. And you want to know the difference. This is the difference between now and the actual first Great Depression. I'm going to call that the Great Depression. I'm going to call this the Greatest Depression. The difference between then and now, people want this to happen. The people. It's okay. Back in that depression, people had skills where they can navigate and weasel their way around this some kind of way. This time, nobody knows how to do anything when it comes to survival skills whatsoever. Your corporate job is not a survival skill. You knowing how to sell the most cars is not a survival skill. We are literally dealing with primitive survival skills as we speak. You coming up with some strange stuff when you looking in that refrigerator, ain't nothing there but some peanut butter and some eggs. Dinner gonna be a little different tonight. I have never seen a man jump on a big gigantic yacht. Yes, I have. And shoot a hole in the bottom while he in the middle of the ocean. Have you? Have you ever seen a man literally acquire this big, beautiful home, big, beautiful yacht? You drive all the way out into the middle of the ocean And then you throw a stick of dynamite down there in the bottom of the boat. Boom! And watch it sink while you own it. Everybody on this big yacht is screaming and yelling and help us. No life rafts. You took all the life rafts off. You let them life rafts go about 50 miles by the shore. Ain't no life rafts. Ain't no damn floaties around your neck and stuff. Nothing. No pool mats. You threw all that off the boat. So you made sure nobody survives this nonsense you got going on. That's what is happening right now. He knew what he was about to do. And he don't, I'm going to say this, then I'm done. Dang, I keep saying that. How can you trust anybody? I think before you are able to bring any of these people to justice, this is what really, really unnerves me. Before you're able to bring any of these crazy goofballs to justice, I think they will literally blow the place up. We worried about foreign entities coming and invading us and infiltrating us. I'm not. I'm worried about who's inside the house. I'm not worried about other countries doing nothing to us. I know they can, but they're not dumb enough to waste their time and their money. I don't think they don't like us now, okay? I know they don't like us, but I'm like, I think they've lived hundreds of years just saying, stupid Americans. I don't think we need to be worried about them. I think we need to be worried about the people sitting right here in our living room is going to be the ones that destroy this place. A bunch of Gomer Piles, man. A bunch of Gomer Piles is the ones that's going to destroy this place. And just so you know, just so I can prove that point, what foreign adversary has taken a swipe at us in the last 10 years? Which foreign adversary has been on our soil and brought harm to the American people? I better clean that up a little bit. Has brought more harm. Which foreign entity has brought more harm to the American people than the leaders of this country? How many foreign adversaries have brought more harm to the American people than the rules, laws, and regulations for the American people? We're destroying ourselves. We always worry, oh man, they got nukes, they got this, they got that. We worried about them. They got us looking over there when a dude is putting a firecracker between your toes right here. That's the bad part. And it reminds me of something. I was watching a video, and maybe you can go on YouTube and find it. This dude, this hunter got his bead on this hog out far, right? So he's looking through the scope across the field because he's about to take this hog out. While he's looking through this scope to take this hog out, a hog came and ran into him and stuck his tusk in his dang on side. Nobody, even in that comment section of that video, really got the gist or the meaning of that video. And I'm sure that's not what it was for, but I took it another way. Everybody was like, yeah, you got to have somebody with you and paying attention to your surroundings while you hunting and blah, blah, blah. That ain't what I took from it. You know what I took from it? That's how people live and be distracted. You so focused on trying to take out that adversary right there, you don't realize your real enemy is right here and about to take you out. They're standing here breathing on your neck, but you so busy with your eye down this scope and looking 100 yards away, you don't know what's right in front of you. That's what I took from the video. I didn't care about none of that, nothing else on it. But that's what I took away. Everybody focused on, oh, they're the enemy of the state. They're the enemy. They're the enemy. Man. Oh, we don't want terrorists. Oh, my God. Everybody keep talking about some. They say we sending people back to their own country because of their religion and we think they terrorists, whatever. What would make them more terrorizing than this administration? Because what's happening to the American people right now is fully defined as tyranny, anarchy, and certain forms of terrorism. Am I wrong? Am I overstepping? Because this is how I came up with that. Because if anybody from another country came to America and did any of this to our people, they would label you a terrorist. Right? What's happening to the American people by the American people? If any other country came over here and did any of this stuff to us, we would label them a terrorist and we would destroy the threat. Think about it. Why do they get a pass just because they already, live here? If you're harming millions and millions of people, and every day you got people living in terror, not knowing whether they're going to be able to live tomorrow, whether they're going to be able to have their home tomorrow, whether they may die tomorrow because you done took away health care, whether they'll pass away, their family will pass away because they can't afford medication. Every day you're worried about affordability because it's going to take your life. And the people that's causing it live right here. I'm going to tell you, I told y'all something last night. I said, we're going to see in about 5-10 years, people going to be healthier and look better and everything because of the crash. Okay. It ain't going to be too many obese people because there ain't going to be no food. Something else is going to hold true too. And this has happened before in history. When they get rid of all of these immigrants, like they already did, we're going to pay for that. Because when you get rid of all these people that ain't bothering nobody, those are the people that literally will do anything to be over here. So they're literally doing the jobs that we refuse to do. I ain't about to get on nobody 200-degree roof for the next 8 to 10 hours and scraping off damn roofing. And what? That's torture. Man, all they're doing is literally putting a nail through their own foot into the floorboard. I don't even understand none of this. You want to know the only people that's loving to see this is the multi-rich people, the super rich millionaires, billionaires. They love it. Oh, get rid of them. Get rid of them. But you know one thing they ain't saying? I don't see not one millionaire or billionaire volunteering to do none of those hard jobs that those immigrants do. Here's one better, because that's not even really realistic. I don't even see them putting into place any kind of program where they can replace those people that they want to get rid of. They bring in another group of people and pay them a human wage, because they don't pay these immigrants a human living wage. They don't. They pay them like they just did them a favor. They are not on the payroll. Their name is not in any payroll book or in none of that. They don't have to pay taxes on somebody that's supposedly not supposed to exist. No. And everybody keep thinking these people, let me get something correct. Everybody keep thinking that these people snuck into this country and they here infiltrating the country. Why do y'all keep putting the blame on the immigrants? Let me make something totally clear. These rich people have groups of people that go over to other countries and hire groups of people and offer them freedom over here. They go and bring all them immigrants here. The rich people, the millionaires do. They go get some. They keep saying, oh, they keep sneaking in this country and they keep sneaking in and they infiltrating our system and taking our money. It's not, man. That is not 100% true. Matter of fact, that's probably 20 to 30% true. The real truth is these corporations is bringing these immigrants in. I'm going to tell you, I got one big juicy piece of proof. And I need you to answer a question for me. How many people have ever been to Orlando, Florida? Home of Universal Studios and Disney World and all of that. How many people have ever been to Orlando, Florida? Anybody, please tell me. Anybody ever been to Orlando, Florida? And visited one of the resorts? You stayed in a resort somewhere, you had a little timeshare, or somebody wanted you to come look at a timeshare and gave you a free 3 days, 3 nights, something like that. Have you ever been to Orlando, Florida and stayed in a beautiful, exotic? Okay. I'm going to say most of y'all have. All right. You want to know something? When you go to those beautiful resorts with fountains and the grass and the lawn is shaped like dolphins and shit, and you going in here and you go into the ice cream store and it's like 5,000 different flavors of ice cream. You got the resort got about 10 swimming pools in it and 14 playgrounds, 17 tennis courts, all of that bullshit. All the trimmings. People housekeeping coming to your door and giving you fresh towels and rags and soap and dish soap and laundry detergent, and they taking your old dirty old towel you wiped your booty with, and they got to deal with that, put in the back. And these people riding around, cutting the palm trees, landscaping and cutting grass with tweezers and shit. Tell me I'm lying when I ain't. When you go to a resort in Orlando, Florida, what wakes you up in the morning is the lawn care. It's a lot of buzzing going on. It's weed whackers, it's tree trimmers, it's chainsaws, it's golf carts everywhere collecting garbage and collecting towels and bringing in fresh food and fresh towels. Delivery people. Absolutely every single one of them people that help that happen and make those places stay that beautiful are not from here. They are immigrants, all of them. Half of them don't even speak no English. In one resort, on one day, you will literally see at least 200 immigrants. And I'm going to say 75% of them don't speak English. You mean to tell me 200 immigrants crossed the border or came across the ocean and infiltrated their way in, and then they all met up here at this one resort? Now, do the math. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of resorts just like that all across Florida. That is just one state. You're trying to tell me hundreds of thousands of immigrants infiltrated? What does that say about our immigration? It's whack, right? It's non-existent if you just let hundreds of thousands of immigrants just bombard us, because that ain't how it's working. That may be 20 to 25% of the way some immigrants get in is by sneaking in the country. Most of them are brought here by these mega giant corporations. Want to know how? Who else they gonna get to do this kind of work? Catering to rich people and catering to vacation, spoiled ass, brat ass kids. Who's gonna put up with that and then actually ask for a living wage? Nobody. You're not going to get an American and pay them $2, $3 an hour for the next 12 hours and make them have to put up with any of this garbage. You're not going to do it. That's why the farms is empty. You're not going to get an American to go on your farm and work for the next 16 hours in the blazing 100-degree heat and pick anything for you. So I can make $4 an hour. Are you smoking rocks? Respectfully. So, in a way, I'm gonna put a bright spin on it because it's so negative. It's almost getting me sick and angry. I'm gonna put a bright spin on it. The master is going to pay, and the people, I want them to think of this in another way. Matter of fact, I hope some of them see this message. I want the people that's being shunned, I want them to remember one thing. In a way, on a bright note, they doing you a favor. Because the work that I see these people do at resorts and anywhere else in America for little to no money, work their fingers to the bone just so we can be happy, remind me of my ancestors. That's how they work them. The way they work these people remind me of how they treated my ancestors. So in a way, them letting you go, look at it on the bright side. I know that's hard to do. Man, they actually doing you a favor. You're free. There's going to, listen close. One thing about the downturn of this country, when one empire falls, another empire rises. Remember that. To all the immigrants that they're talking about getting rid of and sending you to your own country, I want you to remember one good thing, keep it on a positive note. When one empire falls, another one rises out of the dust. We see it. We're watching the other empire rise as we fall right now, aren't we? If you don't know what other empire I'm talking about that's rising above us while we're sinking, I can give you a clue what that empire is and who owns that empire. You using their equipment right now. Everything in your house is made by them right now. Your TV, 9 times out of 10, your car or the parts inside your car, parts in your house, all of your appliances. That empire has risen from the dust when they didn't have nothing just about 50, 60, 70 years ago. And now they're so powerful. They don't need our help. They don't need our blueprints. They don't need to help nobody. Now, this other empire is so powerful, has become so strong and powerful, America is borrowing money from them. America is borrowing favors from them. So how are we still the strongest empire when we have to depend on a greater empire just to stay afloat. All of these, you want to know something? Here's the funny part. I see a whole bunch of people talk about that other empire, but why they driving their cars? You can go ahead and stick that American flag on the back of that Toyota Tundra all you want to. That's a damn oxymoron. That is goddamn stupid. If I ever seen it, I see these people that can't stand other people from other countries, and everything you got is from another country. Your cell phone, your iPad, your laptop, your truck, your car, Toyota Tundra is a damn and then if you even buy a Chevrolet, half of that's made over in that other empire too. Look under the hood. Your instructions for your vehicle and your manual come in several different languages for a reason. They're not hoping that maybe somebody from their empire may get this instruction manual. No. It's in a bunch of different languages because you might need to see what this word say on this engine block. You think, oh, goddamn Chevy America. No. Wrong. That's right. The parts are outsourced and peep game. I know because I worked there and everything I saw and all the parts I had to assemble this car with was from other countries. Some was from China, some was from Japan, some was from India, some was from Mexico. It was very, very little parts to this car that was made here in America. And if it was made here in America, it was the plants from another country that built their plant here that made our parts. It's never just an American stamp anymore. You got 2 or 3 different stamps on the car, and I can tell you the truth. If you ever work in an automotive company where you build cars or trucks, when you click on the computer, because now everything is computerized, this computer is going to make you pick which country is this car going to. You got to read the paperwork on the car. You need this part. That part is coming from that place on the world. This piece, you need that part because this car is going to that country. You need this part coming from that part of the world. We got all the different parts from all over the world that other people made, and we assembling it here. And I told y'all this before, and I'm gonna keep telling you till I'm blue in the face, is they went from saying manufacturing plant. Remember back in the 80s and the 70s, you worked at a manufacturing plant. Remember that? Back in the 70s and 80s and a little of the early 90s, you worked at a manufacturing plant. I don't care if you building cars or you building plastic Tupperware bowls. It was a manufacturing plant. Well, today, you don't manufacture anything. Now they're called assembly plants. You're in this building assembling parts from all around the world. And then when it's at the end of the line, that car rolls off the line, they say it was made in America. They playing with words. It was assembled in America. But every part up under this hood came from everywhere around the whole world. There's very few American-made parts inside this vehicle. Even if they say it's made in America, the plants from over there made plants here, and the parts are being made here, so they say it's 100% made in America. It's not. It's playing with words. We are not receiving any money from that exchange. They're getting kickbacks because they brought their corporation over here on our soil. I could do this till I'm blue in the face, man. All of this and ain't nothing affordable for us. But then it don't even make no sense. Prices are high, gas is high, everything is unreachable in price. But now you even want to get rid of, the jobs are gone, the houses you can't afford anything, and then you get rid of the only people that's willing to do the jobs that actually sustains you. The rich people aren't remembering the people that wait on you hand and foot. They are all immigrants. Because no American with no right good sense is going to be putting up with your bullshit. It's not. These immigrants, they like, listen, I just want to be over here until I can become an American citizen. That's why they deal with this low pay. This is why they deal with your attitudes and your spoiled ass, brat ass, dirty ass kids. Because they have to. With the hopes and dreams one day of becoming a real American citizen. That's the only thing we hold over their head. One day you could become an American and you can go get your driver's license and stuff too. Oh my God, you just reminded me of something. Or I reminded me of something. When you go to Florida and you stay on one of these resorts, if you get up early enough in the morning and go for like a little walk or a little jog, I like to get up real early and I don't like to disturb my wife. So I leave the condo and I go for me a little bike ride. You know what you see super early in the morning and you see super late at night. You see about 4 to 6 buses waiting at night for everybody to show up and get on these shuttle buses. They are as big as city buses. And they fill and pack all these buses up and they take all them immigrants somewhere where they got them posted up living in some other building somewhere close. Early in the morning, you know what you see? All of those 6 or 7, 8 buses parked in, coming up one by one, parked in a line, and all of them immigrants come out and go to work. Every last one of them got their uniform on and they ready for another day of this torture. That just proves that these immigrants, they're under control. They're being controlled, even to the point of, we want you on this bus at 7 o'clock, and then we want you and to come to work, and we want you to get off the bus at 7 o'clock p.m., no, 9 o'clock p.m. And you better not miss no work. If you miss a day or if you late, you better hope you ain't. That's right. They are bussed in daily. If you stay in a resort, like me and my wife usually stay in a resort anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, you starting to see the same ones. Sometimes you see new ones, but they all snuck in, right? So the people that hired them know that they may not be documented, but they allow them to work on this big resort and do all this dangerous work for no money. They're not holding the rich people and the corporations accountable because they are the ones that's really truly behind it. And they try to blame it on all these millions of people sneaking in the country. They didn't sneak themselves in this country. These corporations snuck them in this country so they could come work for them. Y'all think slavery is over? They just don't say that word no more, but that's exactly what that is. They go pick you up and have you come here and work in the fields and kiss people's ass for the next 12 hours. Tell me I'm wrong when I'm right. With that being said, let me go on up here. I'm sorry for rambling on again. I did it again, didn't I? I need to stop doing this. Everybody enjoy your night. I'm sorry for rambling, but I'm telling you, I'm so frustrated with, we are really not able to afford anything. No matter these days, no matter how hard you work, you struggling. No matter how much energy you putting into everything, you trying to be an upstanding citizen. Pay your taxes. Don't get arrested. Pay your insurance. Pay your taxes. Pay your mortgage. Pay your rent. Pay your utilities, and not harm anybody. You got to watch what you say. You don't want to call nobody the wrong word. You don't want to offend nobody. You walking around on pins and needles every single day just to be able to live here in peace. Everybody enjoy your day. I had to stop it right there because I'll be done went off again. Everybody enjoy your night. All right. Just please remember what I said. If you don't, I know this a long video. You may not come back and watch all of it, but please, this was one of the most serious videos I've done in a long time. Man, we are in so much trouble, man. And every single day is getting worse. It's like we are being controlled by the freaking crypt keeper. The crypt keeper is coming on telling another story for us, just like Tales from the Crypt. Ain't he? He even got the hair like Tales of the Crypt. Oh, Lord. He even got hair like the Tales from the Crypt. Yeah. Don't he? Don't he? This man running this country even got hair like Tales from the Crypt. And every day he get on a TV set and tell us another gruesome story that he came up with. He the crypt keeper. This is a pretty little story that we're going to tell about politicians that don't vote the way I want them to. Crypt keeper. Every day he tell another horrifying story. Every day he look like he's supposed to be 6 feet deep. He's the crypt keeper. You remember the crypt keeper loved this shit, right? The crypt keeper loved this horror. The more horrible, the better the crypt keeper feel. Remember, sometimes he'd be like, I'm drinking an eyeball in iced tea. He liked this horror. And this dude looked like he get a kick out of all this horrible stuff. Those people voted in the crypt keeper. Hey, boys and ghouls. Motherfucking crypt keeper. I gotta go because I can't wait to tell my wife this. He's the MFing crypt keeper, man. Everything about him, the way he look, his hair, his stories. His stories are unbearable. And every day he scares the shit out of you. Just like the crypt keeper. The crypt keeper is the president of the United States. I've never seen that coming. That's it. Hey, everybody. Hey, let me get out of here. I'm scaring myself, right? Hey, look, I'll see y'all later. Batten down the hatches, because it's going to get bad. Live Farmer 73. I love you. Stay safe. Try your hardest to stay sane. Love you. And I'm out. All right. I'm about to go hug my wife. I might lay on her lap. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to act like a big old meaty ass baby. And I'm gonna lay on my wife's lap like I'm a freaking infant. Everybody enjoy your day. I'm going to lay on her lap. I ain't even going to talk too much. And I might just catch me a Tales of the Crypt or something. Boy, this done got too much for me.